shakalaka. The Knicks is the difference. Our grit, that's the difference. These kids are just different. And our pot ain't just lit. Trick is the littest. Whoa! Knicks in this. Knicks in this. Whoa! Knicks in this. Knicks in this. You know we lit. Knicks on. It. You know we lit.
Let's finish.
Build it up. You know we lit.
Let's go T-Time.
You know we lit. Mrs. Knit, sir. You know we lit. Campus up. You know we lit. Brass tag the parlay lord. Let's go.
Yo, what's the word? What's the word? What's the word? Yeah, I mean, welcome back to another episode of Off-Season Talk with Nissa Ish. This is episode 4. I mean, shout out to everybody that's in the building. You feel me? If you didn't do so already, make sure you hit that like button. Press share, subscribe, set the notification bell to all so you don't miss no Off-Season Talks with Nissa Ish for the remainder of the postseason. We here every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Pull up. Talk with the gang, you heard? Make sure you go cop some merch. Link is crawling across the bottom of the screen. You feel me? We got hoodies, we got t-shirts, we got mugs, we got cognac glasses, we got mouse pads, blankets, socks, whatever you need. You know what I mean? But yeah, we here. Shout out to my guy Michael Brown in the building for sure. You know what I mean? As always. You know what I mean? My guy Maddie Smooth is in the building as always. You know what I mean? And if you're in the building, hop in the comments, let yourself be known for sure. But yeah, so boom. With the off season being in full swing and people returning, there we go. Jeremy's house is in the building. You feel me? What's happening,
up,
champ? What happening, champ? Darlene, what's the word? Sis, what's happening, champ? You feel me? Nicholas is in the building. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But yeah, postseason full swing. We spoke about all the other re-signing, but we wasn't here when my guy JC00 pulled back up to the squidar. You heard? Pull back up to the squidar. Yet another masterclass move by the great Leon Rose. What we get him for, sis?
Vet minimum 3.9.
It's another masterclass move because even though Jordan Clarkson may not be an everyday off the bench guy, when he comes on the court, he is productive. Whether it been offensively or defensively, I felt like he was a huge addition to what we did in this playoff run, having a savvy veteran like Jordan Clarkson to go to off the bench. And it was also times where in short spurts, he went crazy offensively and gave us a good 3-4 buckets in a row. You feel me? Like, man, hellified defense for somebody like Jordan Clarkson. You get another, you keep the nucleus, the whole entire nucleus, except for Mitchell Robinson. It is back, and that's super important, sis. Tell me your thoughts on JC00 coming back.
I mean, I'm glad he's back. I think we were talking about it the night before on the show, right? Because he re-signed like the next day, and I remember putting it in the group chat like, hey, didn't we just said he needs to sign. They needed to sign him. I think it was a good pickup. I think, you want to keep as many guys as you can for chemistry purposes. I think, with the flaws that he has, he plays very well with Shamit on that second unit. So that's why, to me, I wanted him back. I think, people say he didn't play defense, but I feel like last season he gave effort in playing defense. And I think, it was said after we won the finals that, his veteran presence and giving a speech to the guys about not giving up and continuing to fight and stick together, that's the type of veteran you want on your team. And so, although he may not have been, the Jordan Clarkson that we know from Utah and LA, we don't need that Jordan Clarkson. We need exactly what he gave us last year. Because realistically, when you think about it, without him playing as well as he did, Shamit doesn't play as good as he does, and vice versa. But even just being that veteran during the playoffs is really important, especially since, our guys aren't young, but they're not vets, So, I mean, I'm super happy. 3.9 mil. I mean, we're going to get that back easy. And the fact that I think they announced yesterday that he waives his no trade clause with this contract, which means, he understands that if he doesn't play well, he can be cut. And, that to me, that's super important, especially when you're talking money and business and the business side of the game. But it says a lot about his confidence and what he feels he could bring to this team. And just the way you see him with the guys, you see him with Jose, you seen him with Sohan, you see him with the young guys and how well they connected. I mean, that's important. That's super important. Because to me, winning the finals wasn't only talent. It wasn't only Jalen Brunson. It was the chemistry of the entire team, from top to bottom.
No, that's a big fact. If you didn't do so already, make sure you hit that like button if you're in the building. Make sure you engaging in the chat, you know what I mean? Because we are answering, you know what I mean, and responding to people in the chat. But yeah, you know, one thing that you said that wasn't super important is he wasn't the Jordan Clarkson of Utah. Not saying that he couldn't be that, but understanding and willing to accept the fact that we didn't need that, right? Like that really be a difficult part for a lot of players, especially offensively inclined players like Jordan Clarkson, to have to realize like, yo, we don't need you to score 15 off the bench. You feel me? We need you to pick your spots and be efficient and play defense. You know what I mean? Because your your reputation around the league is going to carry you. You feel me? Like defenses know we got to pay attention to JC because JC gonna get buckets, and that's just as important sometimes, especially for a role player coming off the bench, as you scoring 10 points because you don't get the production sometimes from a Landry Shamet or Deuce McBride if people don't if other teams didn't understand that they have to check JC. You feel me? Because like if JC's not on the court and a threat, sometimes they could just clamp down on, oh, all right, the bench squad is out. Let's stop Shamet. You feel me? Oh, the bench squad is out. Let's run Deuce off the 3-point line. But when you got somebody like JC who's a actual bucket, it's hard for you to do these kind of things. And like you said, sis, veteran leadership is priceless.
Yeah.
You can't
And the one thing about JC is that he got the 3-point shot, but he also goes into the paint. You know what I mean? And that opens up the floor for when we have that Cat, JC, Shamit, McCall lineup,
yeah.
and he can finish. Shamit, he'll finish in the paint, but he prefers to be behind the 3-point line. JC looked really comfortable with that floater in the paint.
You know why, sis? Because he's a fucking hooper.
Yeah.
He's a scorer. He's not a 3-point specialist. He's
Right.
a scorer. He's a professional bucket. Like, so, and it's important to have because there's going to be nights where the starters don't have it. There's going to be nights where he might have to come in, and even though he's not required to do 15 points a night per game, you feel me? It's going to be some of those nights that we might need 15. We might need 20 off the bench from JC, and he's super capable of doing it. We know he is. Everybody in the league know he's capable of doing that.
Yeah.
And then when you look at not only that, since when you look at the grand scheme of what other players are signing for, I meant to make a list. I meant to make a list. I just got so busy and it is fucking escaped my mind. But there's people making almost 10 mil or more than JC that's not nearly as good as JC. You
Yeah.
feel me? But that goes to say about and knowing that goes to say a lot about the culture that we build in here because JC could have went somewhere and got that bread.
For
He could
sure.
have went elsewhere. But guys are comfortable here. The
Yeah.
culture. And they understand. I think I said this in another show. I think players are starting to understand and watching how the legends of old who don't have a ring. Sean, what's the word? What's good, champ? Yeah, I mean, what's happening? Uh, but I think players are starting to see how the the Knicks legends who don't have a ring get treated coming to the Garden.
Yeah.
And I think that that holds some kind of weight because at the end of the day, right? You're in New York, you're gonna get endorsements. It may not be the nationally televised endorsement, but you're in New York, you can supplement your income with endorsements for sure, right?
Easily. Easily.
But when it comes to what happens after the sport, yeah, I mean, when you retire, what happens? A lot of the legends are still making some change because they're Knicks and they're Knicks legends. They could show up to events. I don't think Dolan is having those guys come to these games for free personally,
Hmm.
right? I think they want to come, but also I think there's a little check that come with that too. It might not be the biggest check in the world. I'm not saying he's giving them hundreds of millions, maybe a couple, I mean, 5, 10,000 just to sit and watch the Knicks game. That all these things matter. All these
Yeah.
things matter. And then also know that you be immortalized as a Knick legend. Walt Clyde Frazier is 80 years old and gets an ovation from a whole bunch of people who never seen him play or shoot a basket in live action his whole entire life. Their whole entire
Facts.
life, they never seen it. But when Walt Clyde walk in the building, even the youngest Knicks fan know what's up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one of them ones. So I think that all plays a part, especially with players wanting to take less to stay, especially after that championship one run. They know if they get another one, it is nothing else to be said. They immortalize. They already immortalized as Knick legends and New York City legends, right? But if they get another one, can't nobody say anything. Can't nobody
Facts.
say anything. They're gonna eat free in New York for forever. They walk in any restaurant in New York, comped. They call up, I need a reservation. This Jordan Clarkson is happening. You feel me? But yeah, shout
Hmm.
out to JC pulling back up.
And you
That's
know what
only
else I think is really important, especially like um I forget what podcast it was where Shamit was on it. And he said, there's many times when you're a bench player and you have other guys on the bench that you're competing with, and they didn't feel that when we're talking about JC, Shamit, and Deuce. He said we all were on one accord. If I didn't have it tonight, JC, I need you. If Deuce, I need you. They were so connected. And that's really hard, especially, when guys aren't at that place in their career where they're willing to give up the fact that they're not that guy no more. You know what I mean? And that usually, and 6 men and 7 men, they're still pretty good players, right? And especially when you look at the ones on our team, they can start on other teams, but they're on our bench. And the fact that they're not fighting amongst each other for minutes or disliking one each other for, Deuce taking over Shamit's spot when Shamit got hurt, or, when Deuce went down, JC took his minutes, or when JC was out of the rotation for a while, him hating on everyone else. They just were so locked in with the understanding like, this is the task at hand, and we're going to do whatever it takes to get there. So if it ain't my night, I need you to have a good night, teammate. And I love that. And when you have that type of chemistry and that type of love for each other, you don't split that up if you don't have to.
and it's something that you said. You like, when guys know they're not that guy no more. this is true. That is very important when you realize you're not him anymore. You gotta take a different role. I still feel like Jordan Clark. I'm about to call him Jalen Brunson. I don't know why, but Jordan Clarkson is very much still him. There go my guy, yeah. There go my brother, yeah. Get my brother on the screen, yeah. What's the word? What's happening, champ? You gotta mute yourself. What's happening, champ?
My bad, y'all. Got caught up.
Nah, you made it. That's all that matter. You heard?
It's good.
Yeah.
Y'all been.
So we good. We good. Just to catch you up real quick, we are talking about Jordan Clarkson returning to the New York Knicks. We was talking about one. The type of deal that he got, and Leon Rose still being evil genius. Uh, the kind of veteran leadership he bring to the team and stuff like that. So, Cal, since you pulled up, give us your take on Jordan Clarkson coming back.
I thought it was good because he's gonna bring that veteran leadership for the young guys. Um, and can still play and put buckets up, man. Like, he gave us some buckets in the finals. Did what he was supposed to do. Even defended well. Gotta give him that. But I love that we was able to keep everybody together. And bringing him
For the
back,
most part.
bringing
For the
bring
most
it,
part.
yeah, for the most part. But bringing him back was like the last piece.
Yeah. Yeah, now JC coming back is definitely tough and big pause because you want to keep that continuity going into after winning the championship. You feel
Yeah.
me? Like you want to keep that continuity. Uh, if I'm not mistaken, there's still one more spot that we could sign a free agent to. Who knows what's going to happen? I got my ideas. My ideas are usually a little bit left field and probably not going to happen, but they be my ideas. Yeah. I could wish, you feel me? But
Right.
uh, so the SBs happen tonight.
Yep, it's happening right now.
So all right, we're gonna keep that into a little bit later. I know Mrs. Knicks be on top of the news while we are on live for
I
Word.
sure.
got you.
So
Word.
I'm gonna leave that to she be like, oh yeah, this just happened. I'm like, how do you know that? But yeah, but
Yeah, it's
so we
happening
go.
right now. So far, Jalen Brunson has won 2 ESPYs. He's won NBA Best NBA Player, and he's won Best Championship Performance.
He
Well
want best NBA
deserved.
player.
Well
Yep,
deserved.
Oh, he better have. He better have for
he did.
sure. Oh,
So
it's
we
gonna be a
still have,
rant.
I think we have 2 more. They haven't announced winners yet. It's gonna be Best Team and Best Play, the OG Tipping.
Ooh.
Well, yeah, clean sweep. That's what I
Yeah.
clean sweep like the Eastern Conference Finals and the semis. Clean sweep.
But you know what? I'm super happy because as much shit as people talk about Jalen Brunson, it's not us Knicks fans and us on the show, but like you have to finally acknowledge greatness when you see it. You know what I mean? And to me, that's one thing about the SBs that I like is that they wait until everything is over to
Mhm.
then, announce winners. Because realistically, Jalen Brunson won the NBA Cup, the NBA Cup MVP, the Eastern Conference Championship, the Eastern Conference Champion MVP, the finals, and the finals MVP. And he didn't win the MVP of the season because y'all didn't wait till the end. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way someone wins all that and doesn't win MVP of the season.
So I get what you say, right? I definitely understand and I agree. I agree about 80%. I say 85% I agree. But here's where I kind of defer, right? Because when you talk about the most valuable player, right? Do I think we win the championship without Jalen Brunson? Absolutely not. I don't think we get out of the second round without Jalen Brunson, right? Uh, but this team that wouldn't be even in the playoffs for real without their star player. You know what I'm saying? Like, do I think that's SGA one? Do I think that's the Oklahoma City Thunder with SGA? No. I think the if healthy or semi-healthy OKC, they still make the playoffs without SGA. Do are they number one in the West without SGA? Absolutely fucking not, right? Uh, so that's the only difference I have, right? You can be an MVP because you're the most valuable player to your team. Like out of the whole entire league, you mean more to your team than every other player in the league. Do I feel like that was SGA this year? No. Honestly, season wise, I think that was Wemby, right? In my personal opinion, season wise, during the season, I'm not talking about playoffs. I'm talking about what is based on during the season. I believe Wemby was the most valuable player to his team throughout all the teams in the NBA, right? Now, when you talk about, okay, we move it to the end of the season and we have the MVP, without a shadow of a doubt, it's Jalen Brunson, hands down. Can't nobody debate that. Wouldn't be no question, right?
Right.
But that's all. That's my only different. Like the only difference I have on that when it comes to MVP is the fact that a player who may not be a champion or even get to the Eastern Conference Final can still win it because they just mean that much to their team. You feel me? But yeah, JB is the greatest player ever, so what does it even matter?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the 45-point closeout put him over the top though. Like that was like hands down the best Knick game I ever like. Not I other
With
than
a bad wrist
what a bad wrist, right? What a bad wrist. What a bad
on the
wrist.
shooting hand.
What a bad wrist.
That's why I got the left up.
And
That's why
I
I got
and
the
I
left
On the
up.
shooting hand.
and I think that 30-point comeback is gonna put the Knicks over the top with the best overall team because I think that was like the first time it's ever happened.
Kev,
And not only that, I mean, going what we went 16 and
since I was about to say the
3,
same exact shit.
Yeah,
I was about to say the same
16
exact
and
shit.
3 with a total of what, like 6 points
right.
that we lost. Like that.
It was like a plus 282 or something
Yeah,
like
I don't
that.
think, I mean,
Greatest point differential in NBA history. In the
Right.
yeah.
history. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I mean, I think that's why we win that. And clearly, when we talk about also the best play, OG Tippett, after coming back from 30 points. For that to be the play that seals the fucking game. But what are we talking about here? There has never been is not a play in any sport this season that's better than that play right there. The reaction of
It's
the
so
crowd.
it's so funny because me and Layla were literally talking about that play today. We were literally talking about it today because I was telling her this is the game me and Kev were watching together, right? And we were so far behind on what we were watching that I started score watching on my phone. So I didn't see the play live. Like I seen it after the fact, after I knew
Yeah,
we won. But I told Layla, I'm like, when you saw that play, you knew we were winning the championship. Because things like that don't happen
yeah.
for no
Unless
reason. You know what I mean?
unless
Like
it's their
that
time.
was literally like angels in the outfield. I'm tapping it in.
Yo.
So so I'm gonna tell you
Oh,
about that play,
hold on.
right?
Breaking
Yeah, yeah.
news. OG Ananobi won best tipping.
Told you. I told you. I told you. Ain't no play. So when that play was happening, right? So like I told y'all before, sometimes I'll have to watch the game because I don't have ABC on my TV. So I'll be watching the games on my computer, right? But my computer is linked to my phone. And when I be watching on StreamYard, it's delayed. So what I started doing is where the messages pop up in the corner of my screen right here. I put something over it. And I had to because when it happened, maybe like 5 seconds or 5 to 10 seconds before it happened, my phone started going bing, 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 bing. And I'm like, oh God, what just happened? You muted yourself, sis.
You muted.
Me and Kev were like 3 minutes behind, and we didn't even know it because we were by ourselves in the park watching the game.
Yeah.
So to
Yeah.
us, we were on regular time.
Yo,
Yeah.
not gonna hold you. Like I think we woke up everybody on that block just by how me and Sis screamed so loud. We was yelling so loud. And then these two random dudes came, right? And they started watching, yo, can we watch the game with y'all? We was like, yeah. And then all of a sudden they just put their head down and just left. And I'm like, oh man, I look at Sis and I'm like, damn, Sis, that don't look good. That don't look good. Them people just left. Some ain't right.
Yeah.
Them people ain't left. Just you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden we keep watching the game, but then we're like, wow, them guys missed something special.
Yo, what you would call it? Kev, I can tell you this. Y'all didn't wake up nobody on that block because everybody was up watching the game.
Well, on that side when we was on, it was quiet over there. It was quiet. On the
Yeah.
Broadway side, though, it was really loud over there.
I think that's when we realized that we won because
Yeah.
we were on Riverside, so down the
Right.
hill.
Yeah.
So before we saw the tip, you just heard a roar, like,
Yeah.
"Ah!"
Yeah.
And we were like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's when we realized, like, that happened. And then when we saw it, Kev was like, what the fuck?
Yo, my sister, right? She don't really watch live basketball. Love 2K. Play 2K all day, every day in America. But she don't really watch live basketball. Right? So she came out earlier. She came out earlier in that game. I'm sitting watching the game, and she just looked at my face and started laughing because we was down 27. And I'm like, nah, but it ain't over. But obviously, I'm not happy, right? Obviously, right? I'm not happy. I'm like, but it's not over. So she went back in her room, and then she can hear me because I'm turning up now. We started making a comeback. I'm in here. I'm turning up. So she comes and she stands there, and it's the right before she come out here, right before the OG play, maybe 2 plays before that. So she's standing here, and it happened. And I'm in here jumping around back and forth, and she's looking at me like I need to go to Bellevue, Looney Bin, for sure. Because the way I'm jumping back, oh, it's the greatest thing ever. Shout out to OG and Anobi. Yeah, I mean, and the fact that to know that you was trying to dunk it even makes it better. It even makes it better. The fact that you know you try to yam that shit, you feel me, pause? That makes it even better. But shout out to OG, well deserved.
Nah, listen.
All right.
I was telling
Okay, Kev.
Sis. I was telling Sis because Sis was livid. Sis was livid. You know, and I'm telling Sis like, yo, Sis, we've come back from worse. We all right. I'm telling her, right? And now
He was. He like, oh, we've
Frank
been
is
through
looking
this.
at me like I'm crazy, you know. Frank is looking at me like I'm crazy, but I'm like, yo, sis, we be all right, man. We been down. We gonna come back. We're gonna come back.
And
Yeah,
I'm like,
nah.
and I'm just saying, like Layla keeps saying, this is the New York way. We gotta go down before we come up.
That's
And then Frank finally was like, if y'all cut it in half by the fourth quarter, y'all winning.
Yeah,
Y'all winning.
yeah.
And that's what we did. And it
You know what? Great minds think alike. Because when my sister first came in, I told her, I said, yo, if we get it to 20 or under by halftime, I like our chances, right? We got it to 20. Third quarter, I was, I got my people. I'll be texting. I was texting. I text everybody. Say, yo, if we get it to 15 by the fourth, I like our chances. We get it to 15. I text again. I say, yo, we get it under 10 with 5 minutes left. We're going to win this fucking game. And we did that. And we end up watching one of the greatest moments in sports history. It's not even the best play of the year. It's one of the greatest moments in sports history. Coming back from 27 down, and because what makes the play even more crazy to me, right? If Wemby didn't get a finger on that 3-point shot, that was cash money. That was cash money. It was on target. It just lost steam because Wemby and his freakishly long fucking alien fingers grazed the basketball, right? But to come from passing the ball out of bounds to tipping it in over two Celtics greatest play in NBA history. It's sports history for that matter. It's up there with that. I put that right up there, maybe even higher than Jerry Jeter going into the stands and busting up his face to catch that fly ball. I put it right up there with that, maybe even higher.
And big shout out to Melo, because Melo said he was screaming at them like, "Y'all got the rebound. No one's at the rim," because Wemby want to be the savior and come out and try and defend JB, although JB been cooking you all series. You know what I mean? So it was genius. JB pull him out of the paint, and everybody else go for it. And it was so funny looking back at when you watch the playback of it, and you see Dylan Harper's face, like, holy shit, that just went in. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
Shout out to
beautiful
Melo
stuff.
screaming to the guys like, somebody get to that rim.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful stuff. And that's good for Dylan Harper. Oh, we got to get back for the cup. No, they're gonna lose twice. They're gonna lose two championships to the Knicks this year. You know what I mean? But yeah, moving along, Summer League is it almost done? It got to be almost done at this point, right?
I think they got one more game left.
Yeah, almost done. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched a lot of Summer League or any. I ain't watched any Summer League basketball. Did watch Nichols uh highlights from a lot of these games. Thoroughly impressed. I'm gonna send it along to the panel so they could tell us their opinions on key players in the summer league. Cav, you can start it.
I think the three players that I've really been looking at the most, and that has impressed me, has been the rookie sharpshooter, Tyler Nickel. He's been shooting lights out of the ball, bro. Like he's everything they say he was. And not only that, like even like the vision, even
Rebuild
the vision.
situation.
He made a play. He made a play where he grabbed the rebound and just pushed the pace, and it turned into a three on the other end of the court. So, I like that. Jack Kayil. Is that
Hmm.
that's how you say Jack
I
Kayil?
don't know that's how you say it, but that's who you talking about.
Yeah. I like him as well. The European kid. I hope he stays. He reminds me like a J.R. Smith type player.
Mm,
Like that kind of player.
yeah.
Could shoot,
Ah,
could shoot. He still got some work to do with his game to get to the next level. But he's a rookie. He's only what 22 or something like that. So yeah, I like him, and I like the kid Leon Robbins, the big man. You know, I like how he moves. I like how he runs the court. He could shoot the three. Another big that can open up the court. Could rebound. Had 2 steals and 4 blocks in his last games against the Pistons. I didn't get to see that game, but I saw the. I saw. I had to be a highlight watcher in that one because I missed that one. But he's another kid I like. He could shoot, you know, and I feel like he might land that little roster spot.
And with the Knicks having him on the roster, right? I could tell you this, right? He looks like it looks like the Knicks are, as far as big men go, trying to go a different route from what Mitchell Robinson was, right? Solid. We want a solid rebounder, but we also want some points from that position as well. And the highlights, I've seen his highlights too, and it looks like he can. I'm not saying he's gonna be a world beater, give you 10 points off the bench. I'm just saying, like, it looked like he got some game. You know what I mean? Like wide open 3-pointer, corner 3-pointer, maybe a little mid-range shot, whatever the case. Like you give some offense. Sis, holla at me.
No, I mean, those were the three that stood out to me. I mean, I watched what, two of the three games that we played so far. I was watching for the rookies to see what they bring. You know, I don't watch college basketball like that, so I had no idea other than, pulling up highlights. And I was looking to see how Mo and Dadier would play, which didn't really impress me. Mo didn't impress me, but I'm not really too concerned about that because we've seen him in live action with the real team. Um, Dadier looks like the same. Doesn't look like he's like gotten better at anything. Um, but I really was looking for them. Nichols, I think he's the one that's going to get the spot. Um, I think his shot is so nasty. I think having him on that bench with JC Shamit and Deuce, if one of them struggle or two of them, to have two
Oof.
other guys that can shoot the way he shoots, that's amazing. And the fact that he's super young, he's not scared to let it fly. Like, it looks like he knows I'm in the game, I'm gonna let it fly.
His catch
Um,
and shoot is ridiculous.
bro, it's
Right.
crazy. And you know, just think of like having him on one end and Shamit on the other. That's crazy. Um, but I think that's who I would want to get the last spot. But I understand if we have to get a big because Drummond and Cat being in foul trouble and having to need a third big, I will understand that. But at least sign him to a two-way where no one else can take him from us.
Well,
Because I think he has a huge upside. The
What's
other
that?
kid was also nice. Um, the Khalil kid.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
he played well in that third game, I think it was.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, he has a lot of work to do, so I think he's either going to go back to Germany for the season or go to the G League and see how that works. I think Nichols, to me, is more ready than him to be on the main roster. Um, but one thing I like about all three of them is that they have all said, like, mentally, I'm ready to compete for a championship. Like they they're saying all the right things to be on this team, and they understand where this team is in the current moment. Because I think the big guy, he said he's like, I'm championship like minded. Like I wanna contribute to a championship. And that's huge for young guys. You know what I mean? And I just feel so, to be honest, blessed to be in a position where, we're not watching Summer League to be like, damn, who can help us? Who can help us take us over, over the edge? We're at a point where it's like, okay, if none of them make the roster, we're still good.
And that kid Jack said he don't want to go to Europe. He don't want to go. He want to stay.
He
He's like,
does.
I want to stay down here.
And I get it for him, right? But for the Knicks, is a financial thing, right? Because if we keep him, his money comes on our books.
Right.
I'm sorry, who y'all talking about? My fault.
The kid the European kid, Jack Kayil.
I think he might be the odd man out, honestly, right? With the need of a third big and the talent that uh uh Tyler Nickel has, especially shooting the ball. I see him as the odd man out. I don't think we need another dynamic scorer, and that's what the European kid is. I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not even going to try. Uh, yeah, we don't need another dynamic scorer. We got a couple of them on the team already. We need. You can never have too many sharpshooters. When you look at the fact that in a couple years, a year or two, we're gonna be outpriced for Deuce. We can't afford Deuce when his contract
after this
comes
year.
up. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to afford him. We're not gonna be able to afford him. He's going to cost some. Deuce is going to get a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
He's going to get a lot of money, and we can't afford him. So we need to start looking for as a replacement. Is Tyler Nickel that guy? I think shooting wise, yes. Defensively, can it be some improvement? Even though he's a solid defender, I'm not saying he's a bad defender at all. There's always room for improvement. Is he on the defensive level of a Deuce McBride at this point? Absolutely not. But he also has a lot more size than Deuce. You feel what I'm saying? And that means a lot. If he could slide them hush puppies across the court and stand up tall and knock down 3-point shots, I think he could be a suitable replacement. You know what I mean?
He also does play defense.
I'm not saying. Yeah, I said he's not a bad defender at all.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying he's not upper echelons in defense. You feel me?
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like Deuce McBride is above average defender. He's not upper echelons neither, but he's above average. I feel like Tyler at this point is an average defender and he has size, which is good. Yeah, I mean, which is good. And I'm not knocking that. That is a good trait. To be an average defender in today's NBA, solid work. Good job. You feel me? In today's NBA, solid work, good job. He has the size to be better. That's all I'm saying. If he has the commitment to wanting to be better on that end of the court, he absolutely could. And I think he's a suitable replacement for when we can't afford Deuce. Yeah, I mean, and what I was about to get into was his release. He don't need no space. That's the crazy part about it. He catch the ball, you give him a slither of a window, count it, motherfucker, count it.
Wow.
Yeah, and I love it. I love it. You feel me? Deuce, even Deuce for real. He's an undersized guard. He had to augment his whole lift on his 3-point shot that make sure he's able to make 3-point shots. This kid is just naturally like that from 3-point range with contested jump shots. All he has to do is continue to stay in the lab and improve on what's already great. And he could be a contributing part of this team for years to come. If we saying to land the plane, if we saying who deserves a spot on this roster, my vote is Tyler Nickel. 5-5, you heard? Double nickel, you heard?
Nickel.
I wanted to respond to Coach.
This one.
Yeah, I'm not even seeing these comments. That's crazy.
Yeah. Listen, I like the kid, Khalil Ware. That
my fault. I did that. My bad.
The Bucks just got from Miami in that Giannis trade. I think he's a great piece. I mean, listen. I hope you're right, Coach. I hope you're right. But at the end of the day, I just don't I just don't know if Milwaukee will make that trade. I mean, they just traded their star player for him. You know, I would think that he would be a big piece pause that they would want to build around. You know what I mean? Like he's not no bum ass player either. You know, I think it might take more than Tyler Kolek, Deuce, and Pacum Dadier to get that guy. I'm gonna be honest with you.
The weird kid.
Yeah, the guy Khalil Ware, man. He's listen. That kid is good, man. He ain't no bum. You know.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying Khalil Ware is definitely at worst, right? At the very worst, a backup in this league. At the very worst. And he could start for a lot of teams. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying at the very worst of his talent, he's a backup. Uh, I can't see him wanting to play third fiddle. I can't see it, right? And you don't want to trade for a guy who, because he's still
I'm ready
young.
to be there mentally. Yep.
Yeah, he's still young. He wants to be on the court hooping. You feel me? Like,
I mean, coming to a championship contending team like the Knicks might, you know, and the way we did it last year, um, might be enticing to him. But and he's a good player. Like when we played him, he gave Cat work. You know,
yeah,
right? So I mean, he would be a humongous piece to our team, but I just don't think that you know Tyler Kolek and Deuce and Pacum Dadier is gonna get it done.
I
I
mean, I
think,
don't think
I
I
think,
agree with T. Go ahead, T.
yeah, yeah. My fault. Just yeah,
No,
yeah,
I
yeah.
was gonna say I agree with you in that, we were talking about it before you came on when we were talking about JC, like how sometimes guys ain't mentally ready to be not that guy no more. And you can't chance, not with a championship team, bringing in someone who isn't mentally ready to be a third string, um, or a second string for that matter, because one bad apple spoils the bunch.
Mhm.
And we, if we want to run it back and run for another one, you don't want to do that. So unless we know, I mean, I don't think we have the pieces or are willing to give up the pieces to get someone like him anyway. But I think he's too young to be okay with being a third string, even on a championship team.
I
That's
mean,
that.
with the guy.
That's what I was about to. That's what I was about to say. Is
Mhm.
that I don't think he's old enough to understand what that really means. And then you also got to think about it too. This is the prime years where they get their money. You feel me? For for somebody that young, it ain't really all about the championship rings because what he's still like we thinking like 24, if that, you know what I mean? Uh what's the prime years for you to get your chicken? And you can't do that as a third stringer, even if it's on the championship team. You know what I
He's
mean?
22.
22 even worse, right? I think do I think we have the assets to get him? Yes. I think with the combination of players that was mentioned, and you throw some draft picks in there, we got a shit ton of second round draft picks. I don't think he's revered that high as an NBA player yet, even though he's super talented. I agree with Kev. He can hoop. He's still not revered in that realm where he's going to cost like some of your elite play, not elite, but some of your better players and your higher draft picks.
He doesn't make that much. I didn't think I thought he made more than that.
No, no, I'm not talking about right now, sis. I'm talking about him being on the court to perform
No, no,
to
no.
make better money. Yeah,
I
No, no.
think
I'm thinking about trade pieces
you
because he
know.
only
yeah.
makes $4 million, 4.6.
Hmm.
So it wouldn't even take a big package. It would take them wanting someone of ours. So maybe a deuce. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
To be honest with y'all, man, like I disagree. I think that you know he comes into a situation where he got a lot of veterans on a team that know how to win. You got a captain in Jalen Brunson. You got Carl Anthony Towns that a lot of people don't talk about in his leadership and what he means to the team. You got Josh. You know, you got every single position on this team. You got some kind of leadership vet that's gonna make him feel comfortable and make him feel a part of it. Where it's gonna motivate him to want and then being in New York where you're gonna have an opportunity to win a championship instead of being in Milwaukee. So I think I think it'll work, but it's just who is it that we got to give up together? That's the
You
question.
you can in theory, what you're saying in the ideal world is fire. Yeah, I mean, in the ideal world is fire, but we're not talking about second string here, right? Because I think we got Andre Drummond for that second string role. We know Mike Brown is going to, at least in the very beginning, Andre Drummond is going to be the backup because he's a veteran. He's been around the league forever, and he's a fucking monster beast on the boards, right? Again, where is I agree, talented kid. Like I think he has tremendous upside, and I also believe he knows he has tremendous upside. We don't know how he gonna react to being like, all right, you went from damn near starting on Miami to now you're on Milwaukee, where you're projected to be a starter there, to being possibly third string. That's a big ego killer. It's a big ego killer. And I don't even want to risk disgruntledness in the locker room. I don't even want to risk it.
I mean, to be honest with you, like I speak to Chill all the time, right?
Yeah.
And Chill is a big time Heat fan. Me and him go back and forth. Shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to Chill. He's a friend of the show. He's been here a few times for sure.
I got a different kind of respect for that man, but I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. Um, what was I saying? I'm sorry, I lost my
You say
train.
you were speaking to Chill, and it was about where.
Okay, about where, and he doesn't, he never spoke about him in any kind of like vibe and wherein he's a distraction in the locker room or he's a head case or any of that matter. And he actually played pretty well with Bam. So the tandem of him and Cat, I mean, I think will work out great. And I think, to be honest with you, he's so good that he'll push Andre Drummond to be the third stringer. That, in my opinion, in
Now
my opinion,
that's absolutely a possibility, right?
yeah.
But the difference between that situation and what he was in Miami, there was nobody but him and Ben.
Right.
As a five, it was nobody but him and Ben. You know what I mean? And so again, he might be a solid kid. You feel me?
Hmm.
That understands what it is and willing to compete for his position. But what if it don't go his way? What if it don't go his way? Because, like I said, in Milwaukee, he has a situation where he is the starter. There's no starting center over him. There's nobody that got there that's better than him. He's starting. You know what I mean? And this is, like I said, this is the year where he earned. These are the years that he earned his bread. I don't know how much time is left on his contract. Uh, this is the years that he earned his bread. You can't earn your bread on the bench, third string. You know what I mean? And that's a lot for a young man to. We even heard Josh Hart talk about how hard it was for him to go to the bench at the beginning of the season and deal with that. We talk about a veteran who's been through everything that the league has to throw at him. And we all know to be a solid individual and a good locker room guy. Even he spoke about the struggles of going to the bench. Now, Kev, I'm not saying that what you're saying can't work. It absolutely could work.
Right.
I'm just saying I'm not willing to risk it for where? You know what I mean? You have, like Sis said, one bad apple could spoil the bunch for sure. You know what I mean? And then we got to trade away people I like too, even though they don't play as much.
Right.
You know what I mean? Since we had another topic that wasn't on the itinerary, I forgot.
But I'm gonna say this: if it happens, Kev, I'm not mad because you've been
Facts,
right.
facts,
You've been right so much
facts.
that I trust you.
Yo, Kev, wasn't I've been saying this for years, haven't I not? I've been like, yo, I don't understand how people don't know that Kev been right a lot.
Because
Kev been right.
I wasn't for him, but look who I got on.
Yeah, I love that shirt, man. That shirt is
You
fire.
see, it got the
Oh, the Jose, yeah.
That
Me,
shirt is
me too.
fire.
I ain't gonna lie. I was against Jose too. I was like, we don't need another small guard. Kev was like, nah,
Kev has
nah.
been right so many times. So if we get him, I'm cool with it.
I
Yeah,
just shout out to Brutus, right? Because I was talking on Twitter, and Brutus had brought it up one time, and I was just like, man, it's not a bad pickup. It's not, right? My whole thing is, why would Milwaukee make that move?
yeah.
You
That
know,
is also true.
that's the only thing that was my thinking at the time, because I'm like, yo, they just traded Giannis
Giannis.
for him, so I'm thinking like, all right, so if Milwaukee picked this kid up, they must think highly of him, you know, so they're gonna keep him, and along with the other guy that they just picked up. What up, Ron? What's goody, man? Appreciate you for pulling up, champ. Salute. Um,
Yeah.
and so like I said, like I think the kid is great, man. Like I actually, man, I could just picture him with the Knicks, man, and what kind of fucking problems we would give to him. If we was giving problems to people before, with him on the team, we already gonna give people fucking headaches. Cause this guy he could be a double guy coming off the bench, and he can shoot. So, like he instantly replaces everything Mitch did. And now defensively, I can't tell you if he's that type of, like that right there. I couldn't tell you if he's a great defender or not. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know. But offensively, he is gonna give you everything
So,
Mitch gave you.
so when it comes to his defense, Mitch is fucking special, bro.
Yeah,
Like, it, it,
right.
it so when you talk about replacing Mitch defensively, that's something that you literally have to cut out the equation. He's
Yeah,
special in that regard. Rebounding and defense, he's a special player.
right.
Uh, but where is solid,
Yeah.
maybe even above average, even at his young age, right?
Hmm.
Uh, he could. There's room for improvement on the rebounding end, right? That's where, but defensive wise, and and and, and like you said, his additions to the offense, he's not a great 3-point shooter, but he can knock down the 3-point shot. To
Right.
me, that's with practice, he could be really good.
Right.
Because like you said, he's only 22. Uh, I like he's if it happens, Kev, I'm not saying I would be mad. I'm not saying I'll be mad.
Right. Right.
I think that would be a welcome addition. I just don't see it happening. One, two, I don't want to give up what we have to give up to get him,
Yeah.
because it's going to be low key a king's ransom as far as role players and draft picks go, right?
Mhm.
And we just spoke about keeping the core together. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we spoke about keeping the core together. Well, the core's going to be gone because quite a couple of those bench players is out of here. You know
Well,
what I mean?
only reason why I mentioned the way it was because of coach, right? But the Knicks have been rumors to pick up and make a trade for a big guy, because they've been looking at the kid from Charlotte. What's his name? I forget his
Mo-
name. Get his name.
I know you're talking about the dark skinned kid. I can't pronounce
Yeah,
his
with the
name.
braids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't pronounce his name.
he's
He's
like
tough.
he's tough. So I know the Knicks have been rumored to trade for a backup big man after losing Mitch. So
Oh,
I
you're
mean,
talking about Diabate?
right there you go.
Yeah,
Right. They have been rumored about talking with Charlotte to make a push for him. So that's the only reason why I think I do agree with Coach that there's a move might be made. I'm not too sure. You know how the Knicks move, man. Like we see
yeah.
so many times. You see how they traded R.J. Barrett and Quick for OG. Like that shit came out of nowhere. Look. Like it caught it. Like we woke up the next day and the trade was made. We was like,
Yeah.
what?
I mean, shit, even the Jose trade, right? Because we thought
Yeah,
it didn't go through because we had just did that other trade, and then we traded the guy that we just traded for to get Jose. Yeah, this I put
The,
nothing past them. So
the
I
yeah.
think
Josh
whoever
trade.
the Josh trade exactly. I
And I
think
feel like if we, I'm sorry, sis, hold that thought real quick. I'll land the plane fast.
mhm.
I feel like even if we lose Tyler Kolek and Deuce, we got the backup Jose and Tyler Nickel.
I don't think both of them go. I think one or
Yeah,
the other.
yeah. I
Yeah,
think it'll be like a Deuce Dottie A probably because I
I,
mean realistically, Dottier's in what year 3?
yeah,
He's not going to get any burn on this Knicks. We need to just move on from him. Maybe it'll be best for him. But I haven't, just watching summer league and when he's in the G League, he's killing, but it's not transitioning into the game and realistic into NBA play. And then where's he gonna get minutes on this team? Like
yeah.
whose minutes is he taking? He's not taking anyone's.
no,
Yeah. Uh, I think if we talk about trade, Deuce might be out of here this year. Uh, like I said, last year his contract, he's gonna cost a lot of money. Dolan made his statements very clear. I think Deuce might be out of here. Uh, I could definitely see Tyler taking over Deuce's spot. Uh, having Tyler and Jose on the court at the same time is going to be something special, honestly, if you think about it. Both of them could shoot, both of them could initiate offense. Uh, yeah, both of them could initiate. Leave that up there because I'm talking and I want that to distract me from my thought process. You know how that works. But
Yeah,
yeah, I think both of them they both could shoot. They both could initiate offense. Are they going to be an undersized backcourt? Well, we've seen that undersized backcourt win a championship. We've seen the undersized backcourt come back from 27 down. So
29.
29, excuse me, 30 points. 30 points down. You feel me? So I'm not too much worried about that. That was a concern of mine in the past, but not so much anymore. But I could see Tyler stepping into Deuce's role, sending Deuce to a different situation where you go get some bread. Um, because you don't want to lose him for nothing, right? We lost Mitch for nothing, but we also needed him to win the championship, so we couldn't trade him, right? So like, but I
and
don't think Deuce is that as much of a central cog as Mitch was. Yeah, Kev.
this kid is gonna bring you youth. He's young. He's 22. He comes from a he comes from a winning culture in Miami. I mean, let's be real, Miami. As much as we don't like them
Their
guys,
coach well, yeah.
but you got a guy like Coach Spo. And when I hear Chill tell me, I don't like that trade. I do not like the trade. I feel like we gave up too much. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, that tells me a lot because Chill Chill is a guy that, you know, he's like us. He likes to build from the bottom, you know, keep your young core together and build with your young core and add and add and add. Like we like how we've been all these years. You know, build with your young core, with keep your young kids, you know. So, you know, somebody like him, man, on this team, you know, I think it's a huge boost, bro. So
Nah, again, Kev, I really don't have no issue with the player himself. Yeah, I mean, I think
yeah,
he's solid. I
yeah,
just don't understand how that fits in a place where it's advantageous for us. You feel me? I don't see how that trade works out where we come out the victors in that trade because I'm pretty sure as much as we see who where is Milwaukee sees it as well. You feel me?
yeah.
So like yeah, it ain't gonna be cheap, gonna
No.
cost a lot. But to 6.2, going back to Pacome Dadier, where he gonna get his minutes from? We got we got Kumo D on the team. He's a wing. He ain't getting no minutes over Kumo D. Not one single minute. Not one single minute. And like you Kumo D, that is the future. That is the future. Watch we see Kumo D get a lot more minutes this year. A lot more
Yeah.
minutes. We just locked him down for four. We just locked him down for 4 minutes, 4 years. No money. No money. He gonna be playing, and like I said a few shows before, that he's gonna be the most undervalued contract in the whole entire NBA. Maybe not next year, but the year after, the most undervalued contract. We seen too much from him in this last season. This is why the front office is a genius. Because I know for a fact they went. Leon Rose came downstairs to Mike Brown at the end of the season. Yo, stop playing Mo. He's like, what you mean? He's good. He can help us win. He's like, nah, nah, nah. You play that man in the playoffs, we ain't gonna be able to keep him, and you won't be
Right,
able to coach him next year.
right.
Mike Brown looked up at him and said, "Can we win without him?" Mike Brown said, "I'm gonna damn sure make sure we do."
Kind of like it's kind of like what we did with Deuce, right?
Yeah.
Like we kind of hid him away,
Yup.
uh, played what's his name, Grimes, let
Yeah.
Grimes play himself out of the rotation, and then traded Grimes, and then unleashed Deuce.
Speaking of which,
Oh, that's
you mentioned his name, and I was having a laugh to myself earlier today because a person who will not be named. We used to have this argument of who's better. Can't remember this argument.
oh my god.
Grimes or Cam Thomas. I'm going to land the plane by just saying this. This is real quick because neither one of them is on our team. One of them is still in the league. But let's go. Let's keep going.
That's sad. That's actually sad, man. 'Cause,
Let's keep going.
yeah,
But
man,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah, my forecast.
as far as Dadier, I agree. I just, you know, I don't think we're gonna get much of him. I agree about Mo.
But you can move him for a spot
Yeah,
to
yeah,
For
open
for
a
sure.
spot.
sure, for sure, for sure. You know, he's still
And
young too. He's like 22, 23 years old, you know. So another team that want to try to develop him and see what man, maybe open up some more minutes for him or on another team that's on the come up. Yeah, you know, but on this team, he ain't gonna get no. He's just gonna ride out the bench because you know Mo Diawara took that spot, especially that he got a Deuce McBride contract.
Facts.
that's what I was just saying, Kev.
Yeah, yeah. What up,
Nigga back and add,
Al?
what's the
What up, Al?
word?
What's good, bro? What's good, bro?
Yeah, nah,
You know,
that's what I was just saying. We got him on a deuce deal.
yeah,
You
you
know
got
what that is?
still. So, um, you know, and I feel like he's only gonna get better. So I'm not too worried about that.
Yep. Did we lose T? Yeah.
I think something happened. It's it. But yeah, man. So
No, y'all didn't lose me. I'm here.
Oh,
I just stepped away because y'all was talking. I was trying to do something real quick.
Oh, okay.
But
um,
uh, hold on. I'll pull back up real quick. But yeah, uh, Mo on the Deuce contract. Like I said, gonna be the most undervalued contract in the whole entire NBA in maybe the next year or two. Uh, Leon Rose is the evil genius. I don't know how he does it. No other team I've seen in years of understanding years of understanding what contract negotiations is. You know what I mean? I've ever seen this. I've never seen this. The only time I've seen it was when Donnie Walsh was here, but he was getting rid of contract. You feel me?
he did a hell of a
None.
job, man. Fucking James Dolan fucked that shit up.
No. Isaiah Thomas. He
Was
cleaned up
it?
Isaiah. Yeah,
Nah,
Donnie Walsh cleaned.
I
Donnie
thought.
Walsh. Donnie Walsh cleaned up Isaiah Thomas' mess.
No, yeah, but what I'm saying is after he did all that is when James Owner was like, nah, fuck all that, make the trade and get mellow. You
Yeah,
shut
for
your
sure.
ass up.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, all right, I get what you're saying now.
Yeah,
Yeah. He fucked up Donnie Walsh's work. Yeah.
yeah, he fucked up the work. He did, yeah.
And the second time I could say I seen it was what uh Scott Perry. What Scott Perry did, giving everybody the 1-2 year deals as far
Yeah,
as
that was
contract go, and
yeah.
kept us flexible because I don't think if Leon Rose didn't inherit that healthy situation as far as contracts go, we are even near the space we were to be able to win a championship in 5 years. I think we probably would have did it with the way Leon Rose thinks, but it would have took a little bit longer than 5 years, right?
Right.
I think Leon Rose came in and inherited a very healthy contract situation because of Scott Perry. You know what I mean? And
Right.
I've been saying it since we had Scott Perry. And Scott Perry, we trust. Thank you, Scott Perry, because I also feel like we don't get here without you,
Yo,
right?
that's a fact. That's a fact. His
Because, yo, the whole roster, I'm sorry, Kevin, I'm gonna land the plane. The
mhm.
whole roster was on 1 and 2 year deals with team options. We had a very quick turnover on the roster because everybody was gone. We kept Jules and RJ and Mitch. Everybody else was out of here. Pack
Yeah,
them up.
yeah. And then the players that he drafted and signed were the pieces that we used to bring all the guys that helped us win a championship on this team. So that's how much value those guys had. And I remember arguing and telling people, because I remember a lot of people, Knick fans, they would say, "Oh, our guys don't got value. Who wants our guys? Nobody wants our guys." And look at how that worked out. Scott Perry did a hell of a job, man. I ain't gonna hold you. You on mute, sis. You on mute.
my bad, because I keep looking at X to see about the SBs, and I don't want like the feedback and stuff. But no, I was saying I think Scott Perry he started this. It's kind of like how we feel like Tibbs started the culture coaching wise.
Right,
Scott Perry started it president and GM wise, because like without without the move for like Jules, we may not have JB. You know what I mean? We just don't
right.
know what we would have ended up with. You had to build that stepping stone. So he absolutely gets props. Leon is just when we brought Leon on, a lot of Knicks fans weren't happy because of the lack of experience. And for me, I was very happy because I'm like someone who has deep connections with players, someone who, to me that was important because especially with a sport that has a cap, You have to find a way to get guys money elsewhere. And when you notice what Leon has done, and you notice the guys Leon has kept, if you go back and look, right before he signed them for less money, they are on commercials, they have endorsement deals. All that is set in stone prior to them signing a less than contract. Remember when we were about to extend JB, and I'm like, guys, are y'all seeing him on these commercials, the AT&T commercial? And then I was like reading all the endorsements that he didn't like, don't have commercials for, but he has all these endorsements like just popping up out of nowhere. And it's like, this is what playing in a big market can do for you, right? Like that 113 million less that he took as a Knicks player, he's gained in everything else, plus some. You know what I mean? He's gained in endorsements, those commercials, his sneakers, not having to pay for a damn thing in New York probably ever in his life. You know what I mean? I loved it. I love it. And I love the fact that even when you look at someone as little as Jose, who got the and one endorsement, it may not be a $1 million endorsement or multiple millions of dollars, but it's going to give money where he took damn near nothing to stay with us.
Jose got a whole island behind him now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then seeing him on commercials because he's on the AT&T commercial too. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's money to be made elsewhere to make up for the less that you took. But to keep this team as is. And I think that doesn't happen without a Leon Rose, because not all presidents of operations are that connected in getting guys what they need.
They made New York, and they made people want to come here and play again. That's what they did.
I mean, look how many players took less. Let's just be for real, right? JB took less, right? Shamit took less twice. Shamit could have took more money last season, and he said no to stay. He won a championship. He absolutely would have made more money going elsewhere this year. He didn't even want to go into free agency. Remember, his deal was done before free agency opened.
Yeah.
Like, he already committed. It wasn't signed, but he committed. Jose committed before free agency opened. And Jose could have took more money. Someone would have paid him more than what we gave him.
And I also feel like this is a thank you and an ode to when he dislocated his shoulder and we signed him anyway.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And that's why I'm like big on, y'all know I'm superstitious, big on doing right by players. You know, I feel like, and I hate to bring it up, but we suffered so long because we did so many of our players bad. You know what I mean?
That was bad management, though. Bad management.
Well, that too. But to me, I'm all very much into karma. When you do something, when you do wrong by people, wrong comes back to you. But, you know, getting back to it, JC signed for less. He could have made more money elsewhere. Drummond signed for less. He could have took more money elsewhere. Even when he physically said, I'm not willing to take less money, not only a couple of days later comes to New York and takes less money. So whatever was said brought him here, because something had to be said for someone to say, I'm not at that point in my career to take less, and then less than a week later signs the vet minimum. That's genius. That's genius management.
Because it is genius management, and I also think Drummond's agents told him, like, yo, there's some money out there, but it ain't the money you think. If you go and help this team win a championship, you could probably get more money the year after. Because Andre Drummond ain't super old. What, he like 33?
32.
He got at least another 6 more years. Not 6.
Nah,
32.
probably like 2.
2? Nah, 4. I give him 4. 36. Because DeAndre Jordan been asked since he been 30, and he still be on team. You know what I mean? So he got another, and I think he like 38 or some wild shit like that.
I
Uh,
think, yeah.
so I think he got a few more years in this league, and if he helped this team make a deep push and he's a contributing factor to that, that also brings more money for the year to come. You feel me? Then you could go back to being like, yeah, I want 15. I don't think he was getting 15 this year, right? I think his ceiling was more around the 8, maybe 9, 10, 10 range, 10 max. You feel me? For I'm about to call him
Drummond.
DeAndre Jordan. Yeah, I was about to call him Jordan for sure. Drummond, that was the high, that's the max for him. You know what I mean? But to what Sis was saying about karma, I look at it more as what the legal system call the fruit of the same poisonous tree. You feel me? Like everything happened as a chain event because the root was bad, right? We had an owner who was hiring people because of friendship and in relationships, right? He was friends with Isaiah Thomas. That's why Isaiah Thomas got the job. Also, why he paid Isaiah that lawsuit for Isaiah and still kept him on payroll after he caught a sexual assault charge, right? It was loyalty to Steve Mills as a friend, not only as an employee. They were friends. They used to do dinners quite often, right? That kept Steve Mills around. Even though they were all inept at their job, it was obvious. Even the most casual fans could see that those guys sucked at their job. You signed Jerome James for you to be coaching and sit him on the bench, right? You sat him on the bench, right? Then you signed Antonio McDyess after he had a major injury for a sizable contract. And then as soon as he get healthy, you trade him. Then you got Steve Mills, who is probably the most clueless GM I've ever seen in my whole entire life. And then not only did you sign him as a GM, you promoted him to president of basketball operations. This is why we get this is why. But the one thing Steve Mills did, shout out to him, he hired Scott Perry. And that was the best and only thing he ever done for the Knicks that led to this championship. Everything else, shit show. Shit show. I mean, all those things, all those actions are fruit from the same poisonous tree. And don't instill him. Because even after we win the championship, you didn't have to go nowhere and say that we wasn't going over the second April. That didn't need to be a statement. That didn't need to be a statement. You should have went to Leon Rose. Hey, gang, second April, we not doing that. Which gives him better leverage in every move he's about to make. Because when you show your hand and your cards, people be like, yo, I know what your boss said you ain't doing. So
True.
nigga, you gonna take what we about to give you. You feel me? Like, but again, fruit from the same poisonous tree. I've laid off Dolan for forever, but he's the poisonous tree. We just happen to get a good year, a good few years. Let me take that back. You know why? Because he shut up and stayed the fuck out the way and let the people who have the ideas and the acclimate for that part of the business to do their job. It sucks that he's only started to do that when Phil took over. He said it himself. He said, I had one conversation with Phil Jackson about basketball, and I realized I didn't know nothing about basketball. That's why we got the championship version of James Dolan. Because after Phil got fired, he literally moved out the way and let the people do their jobs and fired the people who wasn't performing. You know what I mean?
Well, he
So
needs
yeah,
to go back into hiding because he talked way too much at the end of the season. For
for
me,
sure,
go back into hiding.
for sure, for sure. He was out there strutting. He was out there
Yeah.
strutting, and I can't even really be mad at him after being shit on for so long, especially by your own fan base, by being one of the worst, saying he's one of the worst owners in the whole entire NBA. You win a chip, you gotta strut. You gotta strut just a little bit. I did that. I did that. But I also knew what was up, and it was coming, pause, when he started showing up at the playoff games and handing out the game ball. I said, oh, yeah, something about to make he about to pop back out on the scene and let
Yeah.
his Kev, you just changed your shirt? Yeah, you
No.
did.
No, he had that
Yeah,
on.
he did. Yeah,
Huh?
he did. He didn't have that shirt on.
Yeah, I
Yes,
did.
he
I
did.
had this on.
Oh,
I had it on the whole time.
I didn't see I only saw the blue shoulders. I didn't see the finals part. My fault. My fault. Yeah, but yeah, I think that was already going to happen. You know what I mean? But you got to strut a little bit when you win the championship. Now he got to shut up so we can win the second one. That's it.
Facts.
That's it.
Facts.
Before we get out of here, we definitely have a small window for the second championship. Well, JB got what, 2 more years left on his contract?
Yep.
Yeah, JB ain't going nowhere. He's a Knick for life, bro.
Forever.
But do you see him taking another major pay cut for us to be competitive?
I'm a say yes.
I
Yes.
don't think so. I don't think so. They're
I
gonna have
don't
to get
think
that man's money.
113 mil, but I think he will.
I think he will. I think he will because he wants to keep winning here. He knows how special it is.
Let me tell you, when Macau said he ain't done, I absolutely believe that. That he's happy, but he ain't done. And I mean, who knows him better than his college teammates, right? I think, like I said, I don't think he'll take 113 mil,
No.
but I think he'll take a cut.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be important to see how Leon structures the cat deal because Cat has to get extended first. So it's
Cat
going to
gotta
be
take a pay cut.
He
Yeah.
said he
Oh,
would.
absolutely.
And he said he would.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think one of them are going to have to reverse the contract in order for it to work and stay under the
Yeah.
second April. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting to see. But I think
Like one has
all
to be ascending, one has to be descending.
just yes, yes. I think JB doesn't seem to be a money hungry player. I think he's well off in life. I think and I hate to bring up people's families, but the fact that his wife is a working wife and not someone that solely depends on his income helps the situation, right? Because he's not having to fully support,
The
an
whole family.
expensive lifestyle for an
Right.
entire family because she holds her own as well.
And he come from a little bit of change.
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, even though his pops may not have been perennial, you feel me, like NBA player had a super long, well, he played in
Right.
the NBA 9 years.
Listen, and let's
Right.
not forget this. He might not have to pay rent in New York City ever. He might not have to pay for food
Uh,
ever again
yeah,
in New
yeah.
York
Your
City.
Kev.
He might have
The,
to go to the supermarket. They might have to force him to pay stuff because,
your
he's
Kev.
gonna have to be like, "Yo, let me pay something."
Your
That guy
Kev.
he has it made here.
Your Kev. Look. Even though I'm pretty sure he don't live in New York, but New York City landlords don't give a fuck. They want their bread,
Yeah, he
bro.
live he live
Yeah,
upstate.
yeah, yeah. New York City landlords don't give a fuck what you did. They want chicken. I don't care about what champion what nigga pay me. New York City landlords don't give a shit. But nah, like I'm saying, his pops is probably 9 year career, probably at base salary at that time, maybe a little bit under a mil, around a mil a year. You feel me? Like That's that. You're not poor. Let's keep it at that, right? You may not be considered super rich, but you're rich. You feel me? Like, so he didn't grow up from a situation where I need to have all this money right now, right? He knows what living comfortably looks like because he grew up living comfortably, right? So I agree that he might take another pay cut, but also I don't think he's going, like Sis said, another 113 million gas, sis.
Jalen Brunson wins ESPY for best male athlete.
What we talking about? What we talking about? The greatest basketball player ever.
Yo, man,
Ever.
homie is he ran all the trophies, 7 trophies, and now he about to take all the ESPY trophies too. Yo, listen,
Wim,
just
Wimby somewhere crying right now. For sure.
Crying.
just take a picture with all your trophies and tag Wemby on it when you put it up on Twitter and say
Yep.
fuck Wemby.
I said this somewhere during the season. As long as Jalen Brunson is in his prime as and the Knicks, Wemby is never gonna have a good time. I said it. I said it. He's never gonna have a good time as long as Jalen Brunson is in his prime and a Knick, never gonna have a good time. Never.
Especially that
Uh,
you had he was playing with a broken wrist.
The
that's
fact that ESPN has to eat crow and give the Knicks all these awards is hilarious.
Yo, this has never happened.
never.
This has never
Never.
happened.
They talk so much shit about the Knicks all these years, even this season, to now have to double back and show respect. I love it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, they was having debates about who was supposed to win what on ESPN. And
All those guys are such kiss asses now.
even Kendrick Perkins, even though he did some flip floppy shit, yeah, I mean, I still don't forgive him for being a flip floppy asshole.
Word.
He was going in on him about Jalen Brunson. He was going in on him. Like,
He was definitely the only one up there. And what's her name?
the dark skin joint. Yeah, the
Analyst.
I,
Shay.
I
Shay.
yeah, I can't pronounce her name, and I'm not gonna ruin her name.
Yeah, she be
Ooh.
defending Brunson too. So
Yeah. But it took her a while too because at first she was on the other side. You know what I mean? She was on the other side. But
yeah.
she know hoops. You feel me? She's a hooper. She know hoops. And once she saw what Jalen Brunson was doing on a consistent basis, she been on our side ever since, or on his side ever since. But yeah, this is for I'm about to give a acceptance speech like I'm Jalen Brunson. This is for every motherfucker who's talking shit. I mean, said what JB couldn't do.
This is what we wish JB said on the mic.
Who they said who they said JB wasn't going to be. They said they say he wasn't 1A. They said that he was too small to do what he did. And
he wasn't athletic enough.
Too small.
Wasn't athletic enough. Too small. Couldn't lead a team to a championship.
Too slow.
And JB too slow for sure. JB did all that. JB did all that. Beat the person that they thought was unbeatable because he's 7'4".
Yo, that one play, right, where JB is driving to the basket and he shoved Wemby. When I see Wemby flop like a little puta, I was like, oh man.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Some of my favorite parts of the show is when Cam sprinkle in the Spanish or the insults. That's some of my favorite parts of the show. When you insult a nigga and you switch over to Spanish real quick, the favorite parts of the show. I
Yo,
ain't gonna
I
lie.
ain't gonna lie though. That one part, I watch it all the time. I watch it every day since it happened. I watch it every day because I have it saved on my Instagram. So I go back every morning. As a matter of fact, this morning I said something to it again. And but I always go back to that one play because you so big and doofy, dude.
Yo, you know what I love to do because it's still on my timeline. High value for sure. Every reaction video from non-Nick fans, even if I've seen them before,
Yeah.
I watch. Even if I see them before, especially the ones from the 29-point comeback.
Yo, that
Me
Oh,
too. Hold on,
I
so
never skip them.
you know the white girl that was doing the reaction videos. So she does them for like other sports and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So yesterday she did it for
I
the All
saw
Star
that one.
game
That
for
was
baseball.
hilarious. That was hilarious.
She did it for the All Star game for baseball, and she's like, uh, if she says if the NL don't win, I'm gonna do whatever the first comment says, and it was like take me out for dinner for my birthday or something, right? Because the NL lost yesterday. Yo, I commented on her shit. I said, please keep betting against, please keep crashing out against the Knicks because you seem to be very good luck.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, I mean, speaking about, reaction videos is something I want to talk to you when we leave here, which we're about to do very soon. Uh, but yeah, that's something I never skip. Even if I've seen them 3, 4 times, I'm watching those reaction videos from fans and non-fans alike because it brings my heart joy every single time.
Yeah.
Especially the non-believers and the haters. Yeah, I was watching other teams go say we when they talk about the Spurs, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I was watching Boston fans be like, yo, if we just stop Jalen Brunson, I'm like, wait, what you mean we?
Right.
Yep.
Right.
You
Right.
supposed to be a Celtic fan. Like
But
if I'm rooting against a team, I use the word they.
yeah.
It's
Right.
they. Because the only we I know, the only we I know. You know what I mean? But yeah, yeah,
Like we
Cat, my
don't
fault.
go like we don't go buy Spurs hats or OKC hats or
Fuck no.
I mean we don't do shit like that. But yeah,
Nasty work. All
yeah.
right, so boom. Unless I got anything else.
So the only thing we didn't talk about, which we could talk about really quick, is the importance of keeping this team together. You know
Right.
how important y'all felt this was, and you know how good do you think the Knicks management has done in doing so?
All right,
Um
so I guess let me start this one off. I ain't start one off, you know what I mean, since the beginning of the show. Uh, I think that's part of the reason why a lot of teams don't repeat because they're unable to keep the team together. There's always a lot of missing essential pieces. Look at Denver. I think Denver was one of the few teams in like the last 10 years I thought had a real chance of repeating, but Caldwell Pope was gone. Bruce Brown was gone. Those were essential pieces, right? I'm talking about 25 to 30, 30 to 35 minutes per game players. You know what I mean? Like that changes the whole dynamic. You can't pick somebody to do what those guys do, right? For the Denver Nuggets, Bruce Brown was the Josh Hart of their team. You know what I mean? You can't. It's not too many of those type of players in the NBA that you just look at them and be like, "Yo, do what you do," and expect them to be effective, right? So it's. I'm gonna land the plane by saying it's super important because, like I said, a lot of the reason. We don't see repeats because teams get broken up. Their supporting cast get broken down, and having our supporting cast for the majority come back together means a ton.
I just want to tell that OKC fan that Wemby was a bitch. He was a bolita in the fight in the Western Conference Finals. So don't talk about
Move a little bit. Show him who the champ is. Yeah. Look at that,
yeah.
OKC.
Wait, hold on. Wait. What he said? What he said?
He just saying OKC.
Listen.
Shea
Okay,
is his goat.
homie. What's his name?
So
We did y'all the favor and beat San Antonio for y'all. So be happy. All right.
yo,
Facts.
the guy that we beat made Shay his bitch.
Yeah,
Facts.
he did.
Made
Yeah.
Shay scared to death, scared to look. He shook.
You not
Shay is definitely a halfway crook for sure.
and listen. San Antonio was fully healthy, and we beat them in 5. So just imagine what we would have did to y'all.
Facts.
How you say whipping in Spanish, Kev?
Una pela,
Yeah, say it again.
Cocotazo.
una pela.
Yeah. That's what it would have been. I ain't gonna pronounce it because I'm gonna fuck it up. But yeah, that's what it would have been.
J Dub, AJ Mitchell, both would have got all the smoke.
Yeah.
Everybody got
Yeah,
the smoke, bro. Every single team that was in front of us got the smoke.
And shout
yeah,
out to the Hawks fan in the chat.
He's showing
He's
wild love
showing
to us.
mad love, and I
for
appreciate
sure,
that coming from a
for
Hawks
sure,
Word.
for
fan.
sure,
Shout out to
for
Hawks,
sure,
ATL 678. Shout out to him.
for sure. Uh, sis, to answer your own question.
I mean, I think I mentioned it earlier. Super important is the chemistry issue. You want to make sure you keep that core. Not only did the guys, play well together on the court, but so connected off the court, and that's not something that you see very often. Having guys that have been able to humble themselves when they're really they don't need to be in that point of their career to like take less and play a lesser role. You don't get that, especially in this generation of players. We're not talking the 90s where guys did whatever, a team needed. We're talking about a really cocky generation of basketball players who all seem to think they're the guy. You know what I mean? And so, being able to keep these guys together for the most part, other than Mitch, is super important. What Mitch gave us is going to be missed, but I think we can, as a team, pick that up. You know what I mean? I don't think that's a do or die. We're going to be a ass team because we lost Mitch. I don't think that's the case. Super important, like you said, T. That's the reason why we haven't seen repeat champions. And I think, God willing, we stay healthy. We're good. We're in a good position to make a run for it. The fact that we didn't talk about it, but I'm gonna mention it. JB played with a fucked up wrist since game 2 of the Eastern Conference Championship and put up work and gave, Cleveland work and gave the Spurs team, who was supposed to whip our ass, work. Put up 45 in a game 5 to win the championship. Damn near scored half the Knicks points. Imagine if he was fully healthy in this run. You know what I mean? It just everything about this team is likable. If you don't like this team, regardless of what team you root for, you're a straight up hater. Because there's not a guy on this team that's not likable. I'm just happy. I'm happy that for once in our lifetime, we're able to see a team to truly compete year after year after year.
Yeah,
I mean, to be
and
honest with you, think about it though. Like the teams that are able to keep their teams together, the Bulls, the Warriors, all those teams that became dynasties were able to keep most of their guys together for a long time and were able to win. So that's and we got a lot of vets on our team. These guys, there's a lot of cohesion within the team. These guys are family now. So and they've already figured out a way to win and what it takes to go, win a championship. So, you know, I'm not worried.
Yeah.
That's
So I put this comment up from this OKC fan because I want to address this. Y'all match up perfectly against the Knicks. That's what they said about Atlanta in round 1. That's what they said about Philly in round 2. That's what they said about Cleveland in round 3. And they said that we were beneath the Spurs in the finals. And you see what we did to each and every team. The only team that really gave us a fight, and I'm not saying it because there's an Atlanta fan in the chat, but truly was Atlanta. Even though they only beat us by 1 point each game, they're the team where I was like, damn, are the Knicks going to pull this off? They forced us to reinvent our offense. And I respect that, and I'm thankful for that. You know what I mean? But don't go and say y'all match up perfectly against us, because if Wemby did that to Chet, imagine what Cat was about to do to him.
facts. That boy light in the ass.
Yo,
Cat was gonna murder him.
And Cat put work on Wemby.
Work.
To the point
Work.
where the refs had to cheat to get Cat out the game.
Yeah.
Because it would have been a sweep for sure.
Sweet.
And you know Isaiah Hartenstein, he don't do good against centers that could shoot or play well, because we all saw what Joel Embiid did to him. And that was a fucked up Joel Embiid.
One leg, for sure. Whip Bell's palsy.
Right.
One leg Whip Bell's palsy gave him 50.
Right.
Gave him 50. But listen, I don't know how. I get it. You gotta be confident in your team. I guess I got spoiled.
Yep.
I guess I got spoiled for and believing the hype with the West is so much better, which it actually has been proven with the parity in NBA championship winners, that the West ain't that much better because we win at the equal weight. In the last 10 years, we've been winning at the same equal rate. I got you, sis. I saw you. We've been winning at the same equal rate as the West when it comes to NBA finals. So, I got spoiled. Yeah, sis.
Hold on. Where is it at? Give me 1 second because I'm going to show it.
Shea never put up 45 in an NBA finals. Close
Best
out.
The Knicks
team.
win best team.
Yeah.
Who you thought else?
Yeah.
You don't have a dominant run like that. Like,
yeah.
clean sweep, every category. What we talking about?
Yeah.
What we talking about? Clean sweep.
Listen to me, bro. Like, I don't see how we lose any, bro. Nobody ever did it better than that. Nobody. Not even Shea Alexander. Not even Shea Alexander did it better.
Kev, you know I got a song, right? You know I got a song. Nobody does it better. Nobody does it better. They could come closer than close. Yeah. Original, they never would be.
Wow.
Shout out to Nate Dogg. You feel me?
Right.
Shout out to Nate Dogg. R.I.P. You heard? Warren G. Yeah. Nobody does it better. Facts. Listen, man. We watch these correspondents on all these major talk shows and podcasts talk about, they had the greatest run of one of the greatest runs of all time, but they're not one of the greatest teams of all time. First of all, every last single one of them. Frank Stan's still open. We won a championship. Frank Stan. Oh my, yo, listen. What you mean we not one of the greatest teams of all time? Did you not see what happened? Did you not see us beat the quote-unquote future greatest player of all time in spectacular fashion? If any other team in the NBA had a run like we had, y'all be saying that they are the greatest team of all time. You know why? Because they did the greatest things of all time in this run. The greatest things. You talk about highest point differential. One of the best offenses in NBA playoff history. The biggest comeback in NBA history. We had the player with the greatest fourth quarter efficiency in NBA history. We had a player that did something that only four other of the greatest top 10 players, well, not top 10, because Bill Walton is not a top 10 player, but he's one of the top 75 all time, for sure. I don't care where you place him, top 75. But everybody else top 10 on the list of what JB did. It's all. When it comes to playoff efficiency, especially in the fourth quarter, Jalen Brunson sits in the stratosphere all by himself. Not even the GOAT Michael Jordan sits there. What are we talking? How is this not one of the greatest teams in NBA history?
If not,
I'm sorry. I'm gonna let it play right now. Right now. Last thing. Right. First round went to 6 games. No other series went past 5. No other team won more than 1 game against the Knicks except for the Hawks. I'm gonna let it play in there.
And to be honest, like, I get it. You're an OKC fan. You're supposed to think your team is the best, because when we weren't shit, we still thought our team was the best. But for you to say that Shea is the most efficient guard, now we're gonna let's. Shea is the most floppingest fucking player in this league. Let's just be 100. Shea's not efficient. He requires to be going to the line 1,000,000 times a game. He actually is the one that fucks up the game, and unfortunately, stupid ass fans put Brunson in that category, which is 100% the opposite. And if you really want to talk about it, let's talk numbers. Because clearly you don't watch the Knicks. So let's talk numbers, because when you look at numbers, Jalen Brunson's numbers and Shea's numbers mirror each other. So you cannot, in the right mind, say that Shea is a better player than Brunson. Actually, Brunson is better because he doesn't even have to go to the line 15 times a game.
Sis, you had the stats. You could just put up the stats. You had it.
I don't have it no more, but it literally mirrors.
Yeah.
Literally.
Because we had it up here one time.
It literally mirrors, and we're talking about Jalen Brunson, who's 6 foot, who's left-handed, because people don't really mention left-handed is its own struggle in the league of right-handed players. You know what I mean? Come on, y'all. Whoever really and truly believes Shea is that great of a player, and I feel the same way about Wemby. Whoever thinks those two are that elite of players where you don't put Brunson in that category, y'all fucking delusional.
So this is where I lost a lot of respect for Shea. Even though I agree that even before seeing this, I knew and agreed that he's all-world flopper. You feel me? I still had respect for his game. But I've seen clips of him playing international basketball, and he doesn't flop in international basketball, which shows me he knows how to play the game the right way. But he refuses to because he knows he's going to get the whistle in NBA basketball. That's fucking corny. That's corny. You refuse to play through contact as an NBA player. But when you go back to Canada, and then even furthermore, I'm already mad at Canadians because my whole crib is smelling like burnt barbecue because of the wildfires in Canada. And then I just got a reminder that this fucking guy Shea is from Canada. Fuck that guy, bro. And he a flopper. Fuck that guy. Whole crib smell like burnt barbecue. I look out my window, it looked like Armageddon. Wildfires in Canada. I don't live nowhere near Canada. But yeah, nah, it's nasty work. You know what I mean? Nasty work. I hope the NBA refs are watching, or I don't know if they're still playing, or watch Shea play in international basketball to know how he can play. Because NBA players also say international basketball as sometimes is more physical than NBA basketball. So if Shea could stand up to the more physical version of basketball that's happening overseas, then he could do that here. And you don't need to call a whistle for every time he throw himself on the ground for no reason. So
it's so funny because he says Shea doesn't even lead the league in free throw attempts. You're right. He's number 2. Like, be fucking for real. He's number 2. Luka's
they just be saying anything.
Luka's at number 1 with 10. Shea 10 per game. And Luka and Shea is at number 2 with 9 per game. Let's see. Jalen Brunson is at number 10 with 5.7 per game. Be fucking for real. When you talk to us on this panel, come with straight facts. Because, bro, you sound stupid.
You know, haters gonna hate, haters gonna hate, man. That sucks for you to be a hater, or you could be a congratulator. But you know, I'm in champion mode all off season, shades on, hater blockers. I don't even see you. My computer even knew what time it was up, and it stopped showing me the comments from the haters, man. Hater blockers on, champion. Every time you pull up here, it dresses as champs, man, but don't address it at all. You know what I mean? So, yeah, going about your way, salty, OKC fan, because I know what you was probably thinking, right? At least the team that beat us was going to win the championship. But guess what? No such luck, because we are the champions of the world. And I got my haters blockers on because we keep on fighting to the end and we ain't got no time for losers. Because you know why? We are the champions. We are the champions. Because we are the champions of the world. Of the world, Craig. Of the world. Better luck next season. Sean know what
if y'all make it to us. If y'all make it to us.
Because I don't, unless y'all do something drastic, I don't see y'all beating San Antonio again. I think what happened to y'all last year happened worse this year. I think they're going to put a bigger belt to ass this year. I don't think it goes 7. I think y'all out of here at 5 or 6. And listen, this is what I live for. This is why the shades are on, because I know they're going to find their way here. I know they're going to find their way here.
Right, because it's hilarious. We have an Atlanta fan, an OKC fan, and a Spurs fan, and we don't, and nothing in our description of this show mentions any of those teams. They just found their way to us, which I appreciate the Atlanta fan because he's showing love and he's not delusional.
No,
OKC.
He not.
You know, listen, shout out to the Hawks fan. I'm sorry for you for catching the stray that I'm about to shoot right now. Pause. Uh, and that's why I'm confused by the OKC fan here. The other two teams, the other two guys we beat, it makes sense for them to be here. OKC fan, it don't even make sense. You just hear hating, hating for no reason, not congratulating. You should be a congratulator, not a hater.
Facts.
He walked it back a little bit.
But yo, I'm out of here. I gotta go to work in the
But,
morning. Getting late. You know what I mean? 2 hours on 2 hours again on an off-season show. We are on fire. I love it. I love it. I love it. You know what I mean?
I'm not
Shout out
gonna
to
hold you.
Eric.
I miss watching Knicks. I hate the off seasons, period. But I really
I
hate
ain't
it
gonna
now
lie
because
though. I ain't
we
gonna lie though, sis. I haven't hated it not one bit. I've been watching all kind of highlights. I go
no,
back.
I'm watching
I watch all
highlights
kind
too.
of.
But
I've been listen, man. This is the best off season I've had in 46 years.
Yo, listen.
I just be going back and back and back, watch all kind of flicks, man. Forget it, man. My algorithm is Knicks, 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 Knicks,
oh
Knicks.
yeah, same.
Yeah, yeah, listen. But I get a lot of stuff about Nick's algorithm.
Yo,
But it's not all Knicks. But the most I get is the reaction videos. I love them. I love them.
that's
Love
funny that you
them.
say that, right? I was watching one of the videos today that we was in San Antonio, and just the reaction of every time JB hit a shot that mattered, it like fans were crushed, and you could see their reactions. Yo, bro, today I was laughing in tears because I
Yeah.
didn't ever notice that, right? I didn't notice that, and then today I start watching the fans, and I'm like, yo, that's hilarious. That
So
is
the one. Excuse me. Sorry, y'all. Uh, the one game I want to see, which is Game 5, obviously. The site I usually watch, I can't watch it, so I've been deprived of watching the Knicks win the championship 100 million times, and that's disgusting to me. Because years before I could watch the fight, I have watched the final game, the deciding game over and over again because I love hoops. And for this year, all of a sudden, the site that I go to don't have the Knicks winning the finals, so I can't watch it over and over again. And I gotta find that makes me sad because I gotta find a new site. But it's listen, I get Cam. The reason why it's the best off season for me because every time somebody want to talk crazy, guess what they gotta do? Shut the fuck up when I start speaking. Once I start talking this championship shit, they can't say nothing to me. But I got a guy. He got a podcast too. Shout out to my guy Cal. He goes by Better Dow Cal. He does he does all sports. Yeah, I mean he's a sports fanatic. Cal could talk about fucking sports for hours on end, and you don't even have to respond to my guy. He just go down the rabbit hole of sports. And shout out to Cal, man. He a fucking really good guy. But he's a Chicago Bulls fan. Like, he carried over the hate from the 90s. He really hates the Knicks. Like, but at the same time, he like, I ain't gonna say, he gave me the day. When you around, I'm gonna shut up. No, the Smokey. When you around, I'm gonna shut up. But when you leave, I'm gonna start talking again. Yeah, but shout out to my guy Kyle. And that's how everybody else is when I'm around too. Like, yeah, champion in the building. Big champion energy. You know what I mean? And keep it that way. But yo, I really gotta get up out of here. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
lie.
right.
Yeah.
Facts.
We 2 hours in. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that pulled up tonight. If you didn't do so already, Make sure you hit that like button. Sharing is always caring. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, set it to all so you don't miss no all-season talk with Knicks and Ish. If you didn't do so already, go to the Shopify. It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Since you got it or I got it. You got it or
I
I
got
got
it.
it.
I got it.
I'm going to do it. Hit the outro.
Boom, shakalaka. The Knicks is the difference. Our grit, that's the difference. These kids are just different. And our pot ain't just lit. Trick is the littest. Whoa! Knicks and this. Knicks and this. Whoa! Knicks and this. Knicks and this. You know we lit. Knicks on. Ish. You know we lit.
Let's finish.
Build it up. You know we lit.
Let's go tea time.
You know we lit. Mrs. Nitz. You know we lit. Campus up. You know we lit. Brass has the parlay lord. Let's go.